not sure how this is gonna go, but we're gonna go. And everybody, I'm not condoning texting and driving or videoing while you're driving. Just make sure you don't keep your eyes off the road too long. Arrive alive. So I just wanted to get on here and I don't know, just talk. So maybe a little backstory time. So November 2024, I had a decently good paying job. You know, I was keeping up with my bills and everything else and blah, blah, blah. And it's a random Friday. Just a random Friday. The supervisor that oversees all of everybody and my boss called me into the office at like, I don't know, 2:30 on a Friday. Hang on. It's a little... Okay, so they call me into the conference room, you know, whatever. So they sit me down and they, you know, the higher up, or call them the HR person, the person that does all the hiring and firing. And this is actually where my gripe with the 2 weeks notice, if you're gonna leave a job, comes into play, because they ain't giving you a 2 weeks notice when they're gonna let you go, right? So there's that. Saying that, you know, they don't have a position for me to go into, and the position that I was in, they're having somebody else do at corporate, which my former employer never asked if I would drive to Palm Beach, you know, West Palm Beach, Florida. Never asked, which is okay, because I didn't want to drive down there. It was almost an hour ride for me, so I'm okay. But I didn't get paid for my vacation time that I hadn't used. I'm not complaining about it. It's fine. It's fine. So I was out of work for a week and a half, 2 weeks, and then I got a job. I got a job to get me by, basically, because I was actively looking for a job closer to home, somewhere in the pay range that I was looking, whatever. This job that I'm, you know, currently at, I've been there for about a month now, and it's a lot less money than I'm used to making, and I think a lot of us, that really hurts our pride at the end of the day, because it's like, shit, what am I gonna do? I don't have a good paying job anymore. What am I gonna do? Blah, 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 blah. Like, all these thoughts are like rushing through our brains at 1,000 miles an hour. I was tore up about it. One day that I was off, that I didn't have a job and I was looking, I'm gonna try my hand at YouTube. And that's when I started my YouTube journey. I'm not monetized or anything yet, and if it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, it doesn't. I'm not upset. It's fine. I literally have this huge thing about not being able to provide or help within my household with my household bills. I don't expect anybody else to pay for my personal bills. And I used to have a hard time asking for help, because it was like, I've always was taught that you can only depend on yourself, nobody else. Well, a long time to realize that, and actually put my pride aside and admit that I need help, which is hard for a lot of people, and I totally get it, and I understand. But I'm not gonna abuse the privilege either. You know, and I'm not saying people do that, but there are certain people that do abuse the privilege, you know, and I get it. It's okay. It's everybody's different. No worries. Now, I was a little short on a couple of my bills this month because, you know, I was off for the holiday. I wasn't receiving a paycheck because I haven't been at the new place long enough. And which brings me to what I do to keep me being a cost low. I literally will go without something to pay for something else. Like, you know, if I can stretch something out to get me another week, I'm gonna do it. You know, I stay home. I, won't go out. I don't look, I don't do any online shopping. Like, I literally log out of all of my apps, like Amazon, Shein, Temu, everything. Anything that could possibly potentially catch my eye, and I need, I sit there and I say to myself, I don't really need it, but then again, on the other hand, maybe I do really need it. So I just make sure that, I'm good. I know it's easy to log in, but if it's logged out, it's logged out. I seen it, I'm not touching it. So I have literally scaled back, and I will just get basically necessities, everyday essentials. That's it. Like, until I can get back to where I'm comfortable, that's what I'll do. So if it takes me 3 months, it takes me 3 months. It's not the end of the world. Like, I will sit there and literally what I need and nothing more and nothing less of getting that. Getting whatever I need to get through, my everyday life, I guess. I don't know. So I'm basically just living a little bit lower than my means. And I think that's where people get a little haywire with, is when they're making X amount of dollars and they see that, oh wow, I have this extra money, let's not put it away for a rainy day. And I've done it quite a few times, and there's been a handful of times out of those times that I was struggling. Like, this is one of them. Not that I was spending outside of my means, but just I had a lot of home repairs come up, and just, again, being a homeowner is not easy, and it sometimes can be very expensive. So that happened right prior to me being let go. So I have, and during that time, and I feel like the only time that we really turn to God is when we're in a time of need. Not only did I start a YouTube channel, but I also started praying more, and basically just asking for some help, because believe it or not, He will get you through it. He's not gonna put something in front of you that you can't get through. And you know what? I'm working towards getting through it. Like, I know what I need to do. I'm working towards it, and that's all I can do and now I just need to be patient. I have a good support group. I don't have to necessarily go through it alone. I have people. But sometimes it's easier just to go through it alone, because, you're just sitting still, and, God's presence and, just letting Him navigate through whatever it is you're going through. So that's a little backstory on to why and how I got onto YouTube. And, I'm just going to go with it. Whatever happens, happens. I'm not here to, put anybody down, or I just hope everybody has a fantastic